I have to give you is this thingy I found. At least it's not a rock.
And this is not a rock. It is a fucking rock. Hello, one and all. My name is Talaic, and we are back again with some more Spyro the Dragon. So today we are getting really close to the end of Ripto's rampage. So what we've got left is what we're going to do real quick is we're going to gather up the 2 levels in here in the autumn plains. Because there were only, out of everything, there were only 2 levels that required the Headbash to complete out of all the 16,000 levels that we did, which I thought was kind of surprising. So we're going to get in, we're going to do those 2 levels, and then if we have some time, I think today we can take on Ripto. But we'll see, because we have to deal with the hippos and the alchemist. Alright, so here we are. The first thing we have to do...
I've been experimenting with a new potion. I'd like to try it out, but the Earth Shapers have made going out a bit difficult. Could you kindly offer me an escort? Great! Just keep those Earth Shapers away from me, and I'll take this potion to Hunter.
It's pretty much that. We've got to get this guy over to Hunter, so we can't kill him yet. But once we get Hunter out, that's where... the alchemy potions come into play, or the Headbash comes into play, because then we can kill him. This is one of the hardest missions in the game, though, I think. Why did you turn around? No, 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 no! Woo! It gets me every time. Oh, I would have had a heart attack with that one.
Man, do my feet feel better. Would you look after this for me?
It would have made more sense for me to take it away from you while you were trapped.
As long as you're here, would you like to help me take out these stubborn Earth Shapers?
Stubborn in the sense that they don't want to die? Yeah, sure, why not?
All right. When I shoot an Earth Shaper with an arrow, you headbash him before he gets back up. Remember, headbash by jumping and then pressing the action.
Let's get it, son. Hunter actually doing something. Come on, Hunter boy. This one is a bit easier. I think the escort is the hardest one. Get them all? Yeah!
Great team! Here, I was gonna give this to the alchemist, but I'm a bit annoyed at him at the moment.
You know I'm collecting them. Why would you even consider giving it to the alchemist? You know, it makes a lot of sense for everybody else, all the NPCs that somehow know me when I don't know them, to go, oh, I don't know what this is. I'm doing this or that with it. But you, specifically you, know exactly what these things are and that I need them and that I've been told by your boss to collect them, and you're still just an idiot. Dummy, dummy, dummy. Are you guys ready for this? This might be the last bit of treasure we collect. So enjoy that for what it is. But, oh, I want to fix Spyro so real quick. Oh, look at that. Look how many lives we have.
My 8 brothers have been trapped in rock and will sink if you can't break them free. headbash the rocks by jumping and then pressing the action button. Follow my lead.
Okie dokie.
Follow me. And remember, jump and then press the action button to headbash.
You're not even in the goop. How do I follow you? Come on, we can do it. That was a little weird. This isn't as hard as I remember. Why are you flying? Why do these hippos have wings? That was way
Thanks
easier
for
than I
freeing
thought.
us. All I have to give you is this thingy I found. At least it's not a rock.
And this is not a rock. It is a fucking rock. 64. Really hoping for 69, but you know, can't be picky. Alright, so we have 100%ed every level in the game, and we still have loads of time left. We are going to go take on Ripto, so I will be with you shortly. But here we go. This is where we take on Senor Ripto.
Yeah. Yeah! Come back here, you useless animals!
Hey, Shorty, maybe I can help.
What? You again?
Yup. If you want to test that power crystal, why don't you try it on me? I'll stand still, I promise.
I like that idea. Dragon, you've just sealed your fate.
Nah, son, you're easier than Gulp. Gulp is harder than you, I'm sure. Look at this. I'm gonna get this first try. Nobody can say nothing about it. Holy crap, you take forever. Ripto, come on, let's go. Get in the game. There we go.
Spyro, we want to help you fight Ripto. Elora is using the orbs you collected to store power-up energy. Hunter will throw the powered-up orbs to you as they become ready. Even as we speak, the professor is experimenting with new forms of power-up energy, so you'll soon have abilities that no one has ever seen before.
Oh, this song is weird. I got an orb. Oh, what do you mean? I got another orb. Yeah, I need orbs to shoot power-ups. Oh, it's this one. This one sucks. Come on. Oh, I got you with one. Oh, this one's the one I like. Thank you, Hunter. Woo. Oh. It's not working. This one's not working. I should do at least like a little damage. Blue one didn't work. Haha, double shot. No, it's mine. What the fuck? Oh, it's a supercharge. Okay, maybe it was working. Ow! No, that was mine. Shit. Oh, sheepy. Sheepy, you're sheepy. Son of a bitch. What a waste of a shoe. Drop it, you piece of crap. stupid. God damn it, leave me alone! Fuck you. There we go. Red, green, blue. I got one of those. What? Oh, wait. No, I do kind of remember this. There's a sheep over there. Whoa! You got assisted aiming. No! Alright, back to big goal. Mecha goal. I don't appreciate you eating all the orbs I spent so long collecting. Quit! Why would you drop them on him? Hunter! You're stupid! Fuck off. What? Hunter. Look how much that did with that one. That one's good for the big guy. What? Whoa, 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 whoa. Miss me. What? Okay. Explodey boy. You didn't have a pterodactyl before, just saying. Oh, now my fire is good enough for you. Oh, sick maneuver! Woo. Can't get me with these sick moves. Come on now. Oh, I really like this. It's because you could only do these maneuvers in the first game. They weren't available in the third game or the second game. So the fact that I can use them right now to dodge Ripto is really fun to me. This is what I've been training for. I don't know where you went. There you are. Oh, got him. Your bird is going down, son. Oh, you can't go behind there. I'm not allowed to go behind there. Nailed it. Lava is hot.
Hey!
I don't think we could ever thank you enough, Spyro. I suppose you have to go now?
Yeah, I better. They'll be missing me in the Dragon Worlds, and I've still got a vacation to take. I need it more than ever now.
Before you go, I think that Moneybags has something he wants to give you.
I most certainly do not.
Hunter? Spyro, Moneybags is very sorry that he made you pay so much on your way through Avalar. We want you to keep the gems as a reward for helping us.
Wow, thanks. Sparks, can you grab them?
Let me just type in the new coordinates and there. Spyro, you can now go to Dragon Shores.
Hey, why don't you guys come with me? I bet you could use a holiday.
I'm afraid we can't, Spyro. Ripto may be gone, but he caused a lot of damage during his short stay. We'll be cleaning up for weeks. Just remember, though, that you can always get back to Avalar from Dragon Shores if you want to visit.
Well, okay. Come on, Sparks. We got a lot of vacation to catch up on. Yeah.
Alright. I mean, I love the game and everything, but why is it using the same pictures as it did from the first game? We didn't even get to see any of the other dragons. They should be Avalar pictures. Pictures of me with the what you call it, you know, the glimmer moles and the glimmer mice. And Elora and Hunter and all them. Like, there should be different little pictures. That would be cool. So that's a minor detail I get. Well, major in the sense that it takes a lot of effort to draw really cool things like that. But minor in the sense that it's not like a really huge important thing. I don't know, there's a lot to this game, and the second game I think is probably the one I spent the most time playing. When I was growing up as a kid, we had the first game, and I played it a lot as a kid. I played it honestly like before I ever even knew how to read, and I loved the game because I didn't have to read, I guess. Like, it wasn't confusing, like you could skip the dialogue and just do the levels and go wherever and do whatever. And it had pretty basic controls. The same was for the first Crash Bandicoot. You jump and you spin. That's all there was to it. And so it was really easy for like a 4-year-old to play. But the second game we got shortly after, and my family I think traded in the first game at one point, so we just didn't have it anymore. So I'd gotten my fill of it, and it was a very memorable game, and then we just didn't have it anymore. And we had the second game, and eventually we had the third game. And for whatever reason, like, we always had the second game and the third game. But the first game got traded away. I don't know why we wouldn't have kept all three, but that's just kind of the way it went. And so I think the second game ended up being the one that I spent the most time in, because I got a little older, I could read. It had the voice acting and everything, which I thought was pretty cool. Not a lot of PS1 games really had full-fledged voice acting. Like, you get like RPGs and stuff, and it can just end up taking up too much memory on the disc, so they just couldn't do it. But as a kid, this one was the one that I could always go to where it felt cool to me, because you start out with Spyro 1-esque abilities, except for that you can hover now for the gliding or whatever. And then you like gain new abilities. You're like, now I can swim, now I can climb to high places, now I can bash my head into things. And it felt cool to me, but the biggest thing that fascinated me was the swimming mechanic, because I'd never played a game that actually allowed you to be able to swim before. By the time I had gotten to this game, we had a Dreamcast, and I was playing Sonic Adventure, Sonic Adventure 2. We had, you have other games like Crash Bandicoot or whatever, where if you jump in the water you die. In Sonic you just sink. And pretty much any game I had played up to that point that had any kind of water mechanics to it, you either sink and walk around on the bottom, or you just die. We didn't have any Nintendo systems, so at that time I couldn't play any of the Mario games where you could actually swim. So this was a new mechanic for me. And, you play as Spyro, you jump in, and at first you're just skimming the top, at first you're just skimming the top, and then, you know, you get the money bag stuff, and you're, you know, all of a sudden you can dive underwater, and, you know, you're a little 5-year-old playing pretend or whatever, and you're flying in and out of the water, going in, pretending you're a dolphin or a water dragon or Leopolodon or whatever, you know, and so you're just going in and out and in and out and in and out, just flying around through the water. And it was really fascinating to me, and so I spent a lot of time just doing that, because as a kid you could just do something for 45 minutes, you know, and entertain yourself. And you find as you get older that's just harder and harder to do, you know. You end up being a lot more bored a lot more of the time, just because you can't entertain yourself. God damn, stop it. You can't entertain yourself as easily, you know? And then later, you get into the third one, and I spent a lot of time in the third one, and the third one honestly is one of my favorites because of how fleshed out it is. It's such a vast improvement from the first two games, and I thought it was really cool, and I spent a lot of time in it simply because it's a longer game, and it's harder to collect everything, and without any guides back then, you have to like really meticulously scan everything to try to find everything. You have that moment where you're missing one gem, so you're rampaging across, you know, the whole planet trying to figure out what you did with this one gem, you know, and you're going around playing all the different characters and everything, and it was really cool. But then this game here kind of obviously was kind of the starting point for it, because they first, with the orbs and the talismans and everything, this was the first one where they started adding collectibles and whatnot, try to add some playtime to the game. And so the levels are longer. I think there are less of them than there are in the first game, but the levels are obviously longer, because instead of grab treasure and get out, and dragons I guess, you get the orbs and the talismans, which meant that you had to do missions and you had to achieve goals, as opposed to get from point A to point B. You had to kind of like intermingle it. Point A, A1, A2, B, B1, B2, whatever, and then C is the end. And so you had to go in and out and do, you know, missions and everything. And with my memory of the game, I kind of expected you to be unable to 100% a lot more of the levels than we actually did. Like, I think there was only one level in the first world that required the ladder, and none of them in the first world required the Headbash. So we were able to 100% pretty much everything except like one level in the home world, which we were able to, as soon as we went to the second world, you could immediately come back and just finish it in 5 minutes. And then in the second world, there were only 2 levels that required the Headbash. So again, you go to the third world and you immediately come back. And we did it in like 6 minutes. So we came in and, you know, fought Ripto and all that good stuff. Because it was easy peasy, you know? It all came together real quick. And I can appreciate that in a sense, because part of me really wants to be able to 100% the levels, but another part of me also wishes they did have just a little bit additional stuff that would require these extra abilities to do. Like maybe there were, you know, in the first 3 levels, so Glimmer and that ice place, along with the tiki place that we went to, maybe all 3 of them could have had something where you need to swim underwater to go do this or that, instead of only the tiki place, because by the time you're done with Glimmer and the other one, you've already finished everything, you know? Oh, no, I'm wrong. It was 2 levels that needed the ladder. So 2 levels needed the Headbash, and 2 levels needed the ladder, because Glimmer technically needed the ladder. I just always forget about that, because in the original PS1 game, there's a glitch where you could just fly up there, and so you don't ever actually have to come back to Glimmer. So I often forget about that. It just doesn't work in this one. They fixed it. Or if it does work, I didn't put a whole lot of effort into it. I gave up on the second try. So it's cool that you get these abilities, and the thing I love the most is the fact that you keep these abilities. We will continue to already having these abilities into the third game, despite how little you use some of them. Ladders. But it's just like, it's kind of sad how little you actually need to use them. Like the water is probably the most used out of all of them. They all just, you know, all of the water aspects are after you get the water ability because it's the first thing you get. But a lot of the levels did have swimming aspects where very few really had anything ladder related. Like, it was almost as though they didn't want any of the talismans to be blocked by something you needed an ability to do. So none of the talismans that I can think of were blocked by a ladder or a headbash or you know, water that you had to swim through. Everything was accessible with basic platforming. It was only the orbs that were blocked by the abilities, and that is both good and bad. I like it in the sense that technically you don't need to do the levels in any particular order. You can do them in whatever order you want and still be able to at least achieve the basic end goal, which is the talismans. But on the flip side, it also kind of complements the game if you actually utilize the tools that you've implemented. Like, it would make sense for a couple of the levels to require you to go underwater to get to the talisman, you know? And the only level that necessarily needs that is that seahorse level because of the rising water concept that they did. And realistically, if somehow you're able to glitch the game and get over there without having the ability to swim, because the water rises to the top, it would automatically just put you underwater. So whether you have the ability or not, you would just be underwater, and so you technically probably could finish the game or the level. I'd have to really think about it. I can't like fully picture the entire level in my brain, but I think that's literally the only level in the entire game that is genuinely blocked by something where you need a talisman and it is necessary for you to go fight Ripto and everything. I don't know, I just felt like more of the levels should have like more use of those abilities, because once you have them, like, the game knows when you should have them, you know? For the underwater level, or sorry, for the underwater ability, every single level after Moneybags could theoretically have underwater aspects. No, the turtle had it too. I'm super tired. I don't know. I just felt like it was underused. It's not like it wasn't used at all. It's just it seemed like it was underused. I felt like the abilities, more so again because the water was the most used one out of all of them. The ladder and the headbash were ridiculously unimportant. And it's like it's almost as though you use them more in the third game than you do this game, and you don't even need to like wait to use them. In the third game, I think the only abilities you really get are the Sparks abilities. So extra health, his ability to seek out treasure, which I don't know what they're going to do for that now, considering that they're just automatically allowing you to seek out treasure by default. So I don't know if they've implemented different abilities that he can do or what. Maybe he'll detect eggs or something instead. I don't really know. Yeah, but I don't know. It's not bad, you know. I appreciate the game for what it is. It's not like this company would have changed anything. The whole point was for them to make it the way that it was, minus like glitches, I guess. because there's no reason to purposefully try to duplicate glitches, really, unless it's specifically for nostalgia's sake. But if it's genuine game-breaking glitches, they don't want to do that. Like my favorite glitch of this game, which was the one where you could basically swim in air, which, if you do some research, the one level that I tried to do it on, with the birds and everything, Breeze Builder maybe, that's like the easiest place to do it, but supposedly it is possible in many other places in the original game. But that is a game-breaking glitch. Like, if you take damage or fly too high or too low, you know, like off the map, the game just freezes. It crashes and freezes, and you can corrupt save files, lose save files, possibly like dismantle your PlayStation. It's a game-breaking glitch, not a good thing. Not a good thing in the slightest. Still fun though. I would love to have been able to play around with it on this one, but it is what it is. They implemented some kind of like falling system to detect water so that the glitch like legitimately can't be duplicated, which is interesting. It is a very well-known glitch, so I'm not surprised that they did something about it for the sake of, you know, keeping the game not breakable. And then the only other thing that I really had to, I guess, say or complain about was the voice acting and the design. Well, I mean, the designs of the characters are fine. Hunter is a little doofy looking compared to what I would have expected. It's just really hard to put an image on what they should have looked like based on the mushy polygonal thing blob that they were in the original games. You know, Allura had pretty decent amount of detail. I think they went a little over the top with extra design for her. Like, she almost, it's hard to say, 'cause she's almost like more, she's got this weird like goofy like teethy grin. And it's like in the original games, like they just didn't have mouths. Like Spyro was the only one with like an actual mouth. Everybody else had this weird like open gaping hole Pac-Man kind of thing going, especially Hunter. So it was interesting to see them put a mouth on her and then have it look like a bunny rabbit or something where her teeth are just sticking out. And it was kind of weird and goofy to me. But overall, the character designs are fine. It's more the voice acting that was a little weird. Allura, I think, was okay. It's just a little weird getting used to because of the, you know, the different voice actors. So you have to get used to like the different voice. And like I said originally, it doesn't take very long to have to do that. You can get used to the voice pretty easily. It was Hunter's that really just bothered me because the original Hunter voice was kind of scruffier, and I just felt like Hunter was more into his role in the original. In this one, it almost seems like he was trying too hard to be super goofy and doofy. And like they threw in like weird sound effects or whatever for like comedic effect. But in the original, it just felt more like he was able to be goofy and serious. And it just had a different feel to it that I appreciated. I don't know. But we are definitely out of time on this one. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Let me know how I'm doing in the comments below. We are going to go ahead and have a little bonus episode later where we take on Dragon Shores. But for now, I want to thank you guys for watching. This has been an amazing game. I will see all y'all